Well, it had been a great failure, it had been the most wonderful gig on paper that we were going to open in Belfast and then in Dublin and then go to Athens and Rome and Amsterdam and Paris and London. Well, we never went beyond Dublin because it was a disaster. Orson was totally unfazed by that. The wonderful thing was that he obviously loved acting with me, and I certainly, I was enthralled to him. He was, well, there was nobody like Orson. But I mean, his encouragement was incredible. So on the last day, a Sunday, when we were all leaving to catch the boat back from Dublin to Wales, to Fishguard, the boat started to leave, and I thought, well, I haven't said goodbye to him. I haven't thanked him. And I'm going back to being out of work. God knows I didn't want to go back to washing dishes, but I just was very depressed, as you can imagine. And suddenly I smelt cigar smoke. That was Orson's scent. You recognize Diana, Princess of Wales. She always wore a scent called Fracas. And you knew if you smelled that, the Diana was near. If you smelled a Havana cigar, you knew that Orson was near. And he was about a few feet away from me, with his arms on the rails, puffing and looking out at the sea. He didn't look at me, but he said, "You'll get over this. It's just something you'll get over. You don't have to worry about it." He said, "This has been a failure. It's been a failure because I got it wrong. It was an act of hubris to imagine that what could crush those two great plays of Shakespeare into 1 3-hour evening. You can't do it." And he said, "I've realized that, and what it is a love story. It's a love story of a boy torn between two father figures. One whom he reveres, but whom he cannot love. A father with blood on his hands, but whom he knows eventually he must succeed as king. And the other father figure is a rapscallion, naughty, lying, terrific fun, wonderful company, whom he loves but cannot revere, because he knows in the end he's got to say goodbye." I said, that's the story, Keith. That's the story. That's what I want to make. And he said, "That'll work." And he said, "I'll never make it without you playing Prince Hal." And I hadn't really done anything, I'd been in a couple of plays. But in the period between, that was 1960, and 1964 when we started, a lot of things happened to me. One of which was I came to Broadway for the first time and played the King in A Man for All Seasons, which was a massive hit on Broadway with Paul Scofield, and I won an awards, and that was incredible. And I stayed for another play, and then I did a play in England, and he always wrote and said, "Powell and I are so thrilled by your notices." And then I got the letter in 1964 saying, "Listen, boy, why don't we go ahead with our pint-sized version of Chimes at Midnight?" He said, "It probably won't make a penny for any of us, but I think it'll be worthwhile and fun. I've got John Gielgud for the King, Margaret Rutherford for Mistress Quickly, Jean Moreau for Doll Tearsheet, full stop, will you come? Love, Orson." So I went to Spain.